Hey, what is up, guys? Township Mojo here, and this is vlog number 2. Now, as the title suggests, this vlog is about buying motorcycle gear in India, but it's going to be a little different. Number one, it's not going to be a comparison of brands. Number two, I don't believe anyone has covered this topic from the point of view that I'm going to share with you today. Now, if you're into motorcycling, you probably know that motorcycle gear is pretty expensive. And most of us are not fortunate enough to be able to walk into a store and buy everything at once, like a jacket, trousers, boots, helmet, gloves. As in, we simply can't afford it, and that is a fact that we need to live with. So the question is, what do we do? Now, most of us, including me, what we do is you buy it one at a time. You probably go buy gloves first, then a jacket, and then trousers, and then boots, and so on. So, what I'm going to talk about today is in what order do you buy your gear if you can't afford it all at once. Now, let's get right into it. Number one would be your helmet. For a simple reason that the law requires you to wear it. Now, in most cities, it's mandatory for you to wear a helmet, and if it's not, that's the first thing you should get. And the reason is your head is pretty important. Some people may not agree with this point, but it's true. And there are these other set of people who believe that their elbows are more important than their head, and that's where they put the helmet. Number one, the helmet's not going to protect your elbow. Number two, in all likelihood, if you fall, that helmet's going to break your hand. And believe me, it's happened before. I've not seen it personally, but a friend of mine has seen that happen. Some guy fell off his Activa, I believe, at a very low speed, that too. And because he had his helmet on his elbow, he actually broke his arm at 2 points. I think the forearm and probably here, it just split. So that's another reason why you should not be putting your helmet there. Now, moving on to number two. I would say number two would be your gloves, because when you fall off the ground, the first thing that's most likely going to hit the ground are your palms. And now there is a reason to this. Your brain is designed to protect itself, and it will probably do anything to protect itself, and that is why it's a natural reflex. Either you falling off a motorcycle, a cycle, or you just trip and fall. The first thing you will do is put your hands out, and that is in order to protect your head. So that is why I would say number one would be to buy gloves, because when you fall at whatever speed, your palms are the first thing that are going to hit the ground. And if you've fallen off, either off a motorcycle or even off a cycle when you were a kid, that hurts pretty badly. It's not a serious injury, but that thing takes a while to heal and it hurts like crazy. Now, number three, for a similar reason, would be your jacket. Because after you fall, after your palms hit the ground, in all likelihood, not in all cases, but mostly, would be your elbow or your shoulder that would hit the ground. And the jacket is designed to protect your elbow, your shoulder, your back, and other stuff like that. Now, number four is kind of debatable, but I think I would have a clear idea, and I would say it would be riding trousers. Now, I bought my boots before the trousers. I mean, I still have to buy trousers. I haven't bought them yet. So, now the reason I would say riding trousers before boots is because, number one, I would define the usefulness of a protective gear by, first of all, the amount of time you use it, and after that, the actual part of the body that it protects. Now, boots are not something that you can wear all the time. And I'm saying this with experience. I've bought my boots, and there are not many occasions when I actually use them. The only time I do use them is when I go out for a planned ride, which is considerably long or even short. That's the only time when I can wear my boots. If you're going to work or you're going to college or you're going to a mall, it doesn't make sense wearing boots. I mean, it's just cumbersome to do so. So in such situations, like when you go to work or you go to college, you could probably wear your trousers over the existing trousers that you are wearing, and so that's essentially why I would say get your riding trousers before you get your boots, and therefore number five is your boots. That would be the last thing that you probably buy. Now, when you buy gear in such a way, what ends up happening is by the time, if you bought your gloves first and your boots last, by the time you get your boots, it's time to change your gloves because it's been that long period of a time and it's basically time to just change it. And that in a way is a good thing. The bad side of it is you really can't match your gear. So that would be a downside, I would say, to it. Now, the question now, I mean, talking about all this gear is one thing. Now, many people have this question, why should I wear gear to begin with? And I'll give you a very simple logic as to what I think about wearing gear. Now, I love to ride motorcycles and I want to be able to do that as long as possible. Now, for a fact, I know that these are bees. Okay. Yeah. What was I saying? Now, I want to be able to be riding motorcycles as long as I can, and for me, motorcycle gear is basically kind of an insurance policy that ensures that I will be able to ride the motorcycle as long as I possibly can. And that is a very simple reason. Because it does not have to be you that is responsible for you meeting with an accident. There are a lot of reckless people out there who do stupid things on roads. And you could be a victim of one of those idiots someday. And all this gear is just, to protect you from those kind of people. And that is why I would say wear your gear. Now, I do understand it's not possible to wear all the gear all the time. I have actually made a video on all the gear all the time, and I'm going to link it right up here. Do check it out if you haven't already. It was supposed to be, just introducing people to gear and with a little bit of humor in it. So do check it out if you haven't already. And so what I believe is there will be there's a minimum amount of gear that you should be wearing at all times. And what I believe is your helmet and your gloves are a bare minimum to what you should be wearing, at any given point of time. It's a good habit to form because I have always been wearing a helmet and a glove since I've been riding a motorcycle, and it's become such a habit that it's not possible for me, or I find it weird to ride without a helmet and my gloves.
Jack it up. Well, that's all I have for you guys today.
I hope this would help someone out there who's intending on buying some gear sometime soon. And this essentially would be something to help new riders with. So hope you guys liked it. And that's all from me today. This is Downshift Mojo. And bye bye.